doing the gyration to Eden on the outside of the ring. You don't have a permit for that, sir. Young kids aren't ready to see that kind of stuff. And my eyes hurt too. Just saying. Brian was scarred. He's still recovering.
That's why he's over there quiet.
It's been a long, hard day. Long, hard road. The Corner to Corner is dedicated to bringing you the hits.
But I would say that I liked what Xavier Wood did. He threw it, just a typical wrestler. Had the shirt, threw it in the crowd, but it didn't go where he wanted it to go. It went on the ground in front of the railing. So they actually made Eden get it and hand it back so he could throw it back out to the people he wanted to throw it to.
Hey, one of the other cool things that I noticed, which was the fans in the front row, the grown fans, when the T-shirts came their way, they were actually handing it off to the little kids, and I thought that was pretty neat.
Well, yeah.
Pretty classy.
That one lady.
Oh, yeah, they wanted to sit to our right.
I don't know what shirt she got.
She got the Bootio shirt. I mean, it her defense.
Booty.
They threw it like it was heading back behind those kids. Although she could have given it to one of those kids. But still, it was pretty cool. Gosh. Extreme Rules is next weekend. Should be an interesting night. What we know of it so far, WWE World Championship, Roman Reigns defending against AJ Styles. Sorry, two different guys there. AJ Styles in Extreme Rules match.
AJ Styles listening going, yes!
He's like, what?
I have arrived.
Mr.
But is there any scenario there that you see AJ not coming with the belt?
I think we were all in agreement last month when AJ ended up not winning that while it wasn't what we wanted, it at least made sense. This month, I don't know if they can do that twice. Extreme Rules means the odds are definitely in AJ's favor. He's got his boys at the club with him. You got the Usos backing up Reigns.
Now, are the Usos in a match with the club? Or
I don't know yet. I would imagine it's forthcoming.
I was going to say, because I foresee them either doing that or throwing it and making it a six-man match at the last minute.
Now, that would be a way that you could have AJ come away with the victory over Reigns and not win the title. If they did that, that would suck, but I guess they could do it.
I mean, my thing is, how long can you have the pairing together of Roman Reigns, who is trying to be this, I don't care what people think about me, the whole thing he should have been doing the whole time.
Right.
But it's a little late now, we all don't care. And then you have him with the Usos, who are still trying to do the crowd pop with the Usos.
The thing with Roman Reigns is, no matter what he does, how well he does, or how he brings it, I think there's some fans that just won't be swayed. They just won't be deterred from their current mindset. Rightfully so. I mean, WWE really hasn't done him any favors with the build. But also, there's a lot of fans that are starting to, I don't want to say rally behind the guy, but they seem to give him a break because his matchup with AJ Styles at Payback was actually really good. Watching it in the replay, after we first did the simulcast, something noticeable, and I'm not convinced it was piped in, was the dueling chants between "Let's go Roman," "Let's go AJ."
I thought they were saying, "Oh no, Roman." Oh no, Roman.
That would be actually an awesome chant.
But I will say it hurt tonight. It hurt buying that Roman Reigns shirt for my son. My son wanted a Roman Reigns shirt.
Hey,
I gotta raise it better.
I mean, everybody has that one wrestler they like. They don't like to talk about. They get flagged for.
Well, let's talk about the dude who showed up with the robe on, the Cactus Jack shirt, and the Ric Flair belt, and then the Ric just Jimmy, Flair,
Garvin, Cactus.
Like,
right. Don't be that fan, folks. It's cool. Bring your belt. Wear your T-shirts. If you're gonna dress, if you're gonna do the cosplay, dress as a character. Why don't you just be the actual character instead of Cactus Jack, Flair, Foley, Garvin, whatever your name is.
Yeah.
Oh, and also, here's a thought. And we noticed this on a couple of different guys walking in. If you're probably over the age of, say, 35, and you're wearing the T-shirt for your favorite diva, and don't be surprised if people are looking at you suspect. I mean, it's the what was it? Oh yeah, the I'm a hugger thing. Bailey probably doesn't do a whole lot of meet and greets with those guys. I'm guessing. Or if she does, she's got a lot of security.
It's just weird.
I mean, who wears a Brie Mode T-shirt?
But not only a Brie Mode T-shirt. This wasn't even a store-bought Brie Mode T-shirt.
No, it was a custom-made deal.
This was a unofficial, unauthorized, counterfeit Brie Mode T-shirt.
Yeah, much like the Thank You Daniel, it was like a Thank You Brie Mode.
What'd she do for the SGN?
Who the hell says Thank You Brie Mode anyway? Nobody. Except this one old creepy dude.
Well, it's like when you look at Twitter,
Yep.
Like, people just need to realize that these are wrestlers playing a part in a storyline. Like, these wrestlers, like Charlotte, will post a picture of herself with the belt. And all these people will go on these long rants. And I'm just looking at it going, come on, people.
People say some disgusting stuff to these divas, or not divas, to these ladies, these women wrestlers.
Thank God they changed it.
Yeah, it has taken a little getting used to as far as verbiage, but yeah, I agree.
What word did you say?
Verbiage, language, vocabulary.
Got himself a dictionary.
Hey, if you can't keep up with the vernacular, sir.
Got himself a board. Word of the day, toilet paper.
I did. It's only one ply though, so I can't read it real well. It's like sandpaper.
It's a tough subject. But no, it was a fun night. WWE does it well. I was a little annoyed that, somebody in the back couldn't look out and see that 90% of the arena hasn't filled up yet, so they go ahead and start the show.
Yeah,
I mean, you could look at that going, wait a minute, not a lot of people are here yet? Let's just hold off a minute. But,
when you open the doors at 15 minutes to 7, you got a line around the building, which is exactly why we signed out as quick as we did. And you open the doors, and it's bottlenecked. It's like 100,000 people trying to fill in through a Miller Lite can. It's ridiculous. And then as they open more doors to try to filter more people in, you got to do the security checks, and they're doing that. Then they got to tell people where to go for directions. You got fans going in the wrong way, wrong entrances, getting cycled back around to get security checked. It was a mess. Logistics wise, they didn't plan it too well. But then they start the matches with God, who opened the show?
It was Kane and...
Oh yeah, Kane and Eric Rowan. Yeah. Which, I mean...
But I think in Roanoke, this is the same group that was in Roanoke. It was Big Show and Kane versus Luke Harper or Eric Rowan and Braun Strowman.
Wonder if Big Show has an agreement where he only works maybe once every other show or something like that. Either that or he was in South Carolina tonight. We know that there was a South Carolina or North Carolina, one or the other.
I will say that Braun Strowman is a big dude.
Yeah.
You see him coming down the alley, run the other way.
To coin a phrase, run.
And tonight, finally, I figured out how Sin Cara does his little leap over the rail.
Yeah, we finally saw the trampoline put in place. I mean, you read about it, but you're like, I don't know how he pulls that off, and the camera doesn't really show.
Sorry, we didn't say spoiler.
I mean, yeah, I guess so. Sorry. Spoiler alert.
He doesn't have bungee legs.
Noticeable by his absence, Charles Robinson. Bill Nates, I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to creep you out that bad last time. You could have.
your leg, mate?
I mean, I just wanted to know. I'm a concerned fan. All right, not really.
Remember that fan we talked about earlier?
I mean,
That was Stan.
I don't have an I'm a hugger shirt.
Not you're wearing now.
I did say how you doing to Becky. Hey there. Hey, girl. And she didn't care. Yeah, well.
She's like, you know how many I've seen in cities around the world?
All right, if you had to pick your favorite match of the night, what would you say it was?
I would actually say my favorite match of the night was the women's match.
Okay.
I thought it was a lot better than the last time we saw it. But I thought, the men's match, the Vaudevillains and New Day was a pretty good match. It wasn't your typical, to me, it was your typical New Day match with their goofing off, but it was more wrestling than it usually is on Raw.
Yeah, there was a lot more focus on psychology tonight. I noticed that. Cutting the guy off, keeping him from the tag, really working a hold. And it was simplistic. It wasn't like they were doing crazy submission moves or anything. They were just keeping it real basic, chin locks, arm bars, things like that. But it worked, and it really made the matches better. I would say that I really enjoyed the tag team title match, but I have to agree that the women's match was great. I actually thought that Victor versus Sin Cara was pretty good. I mean, it wasn't necessarily a main event anywhere in the world. Sorry, Tony Giovanni. But
you can get him back in August, Tony.
Oh, please no. No, really, no. But I really enjoyed that. I also thought that Kalisto looked good this evening. I thought that was impressive. Speaking of looking good, how about Lana? Just wow.
No comment.
Was she at the show that we saw a couple years ago? No, Rusev wasn't.
No.
That's right, because Rusev hadn't debuted yet on the main roster. Wow. How time flies, huh?
The beginning match that night was Shield versus the Wyatt family.
Oh, that's right. What a way to start the show.
That's right after they came out and said John Cena's not going to be here, so we're going to give you a portion of your money back.
Yeah. That was 2 years ago, 2014, just before WrestleMania 30. Cena was out for, I think we talked about it earlier, I think it was either a back or a hip injury, something like that. Beginning of the show, they announced, hey, Cena's not going to be here. We're really sorry. Anybody would like to get a refund, you have until the end of the first match. And if I remember correctly, nobody walked out.
No.
But I thought that's kind of neat that they'd be at least willing to offer that. A couple of notes. The merchandise stands. I mean, not that John Paul Jones Arena is a huge arena, but it's big enough for more than one location for merch. And it's also big enough to have maybe a little bit more merch to choose from.
Yeah.
That being said, I looked like Smart Mark 5000 walking out of that joint tonight. Complete with
WWE thanks him.
Yeah, right. Apparently, I just paid for shareholders to have the executive washroom for another few months. You're welcome.
He made some Kid Days. Stan stopped and let some people take a picture of some of his purchases.
That was actually pretty cool. A couple fans stopped by. They're like, "Hey, can we check that out?" I was like, "Sure." I got one of the replica belts, and this little kid comes up with his dad. And the two fans that initially stopped us were taking pictures of each other with it. And then this little kid says, "Hey, can I hold it?" I was like, "Of course." So I let the kid check it out. And his dad takes a picture of him. It was just really neat. It was, I'm just another fan, just like anybody else. But it's kind of a cool little glimpse as to what maybe the wrestlers have to go through from time to time. It was kind of fun.
Stan's coming to a Comic-Con near you. He'll be the weird guy in the back with a poster up saying, "Take a picture with my belt."
Remember me? I was in Charlottesville and you took a picture with my belt.
Problem is, they'll take his belt off his pants. Like, here's my pants. Here's my belt.
I am getting older and senile, so.
I mean, it was good. JPJ did not waste any time kicking people out.
No, security is a little gruff at the end. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here kind of mentality. Everybody out. Oh, yeah, so we stop off at Burger King on our way out, and the crowd at Burger King and Taco Bell, McDonald's, you could tell that everybody is leaving the arena where they spent ridiculous amounts of money on merch, but also ridiculous amounts of money on food or drink if they bought it there. Now they're filtering to the drive-thrus, so we try to break up our order for dinner into 3, and the lady's like, no, you can only do it on 1 order. Didn't even say I'm sorry. No customer service feel. Just no. You can only do it on 1. Okay. Sorry. Thanks. I guess customer service has gone the way of the dodo.
No, but I mean, overall, the matches were good caliber. It's interesting to see where it goes from here. Interesting to see where the Shane and Stephanie angle goes. Not sure what they're trying to do, but I will tell you, since we're talking wrestling, caught the latest episode of Lucha Underground, and I want to congratulate Lorenzo Lamas. You all might know him from 90s fame.
The Renegade.
The Renegade. He's reached a new plateau in his career as he is the councilman on Lucha Underground, where they had a match. They had a women's match last week that was just unreal. First women's match I've ever seen where somebody was bleeding. Like, they ripped the girl's mask and she was bleeding and had her hanging over the rafters and the blood was dripping onto the audience.
Oh, wow.
And then this week they had the main event world title match, 4-casket match. So that was pretty cool.
A 4-casket match?
Yeah, like they had 4 caskets on each side of the ring, 1 casket on each side of the ring, and they just kept using them as weapons.
So a 4-way casket match?
No, it was 2 people.
Oh,
4 caskets.
Okay. Wow.
Just in case they lose one, I guess.
Swanton through the
What
casket.
they were using them for, it was just like, oh my god. High quality stuff on Lucha Underground. If you don't get it, it's on the El Rey Network. Brian turned me on to it. Turned me on to the show on the El Rey Network.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
But quality stuff coming out of Lucha Underground. Rey Mysterio is co-holder of the 6-man tag team, or I guess they call it the
Trios Championship.
The Trios Championship.
Yeah.
And back to WWE.
So we know that Intercontinental Championship is going to be defended at Extreme Rules. The Miz will be defending against Cesaro. And apparently
Is it a 4-way match?
I believe so. It's supposed to be The Miz, Cesaro, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn.
Yes. Did anybody ever think Zack Ryder was going to beat Kevin Owens? I mean, come on.
Hey, you know what? I was actually impressed with the matchup between the two. He didn't do bad.
I'm glad of the push for Zack Ryder. I mean, I think, those guys, every company has a Zack Ryder.
Yeah.
The WWE has many Zack Ryders. The ones that, he could be on the main roster this week, but if you need help and if you need the pump in NXT, he can easily go down there and will.
For Mojo Rally.
He'll go down there and he has no problem doing that. Wish more stars could do that, but it's about time. It's nice to see finally. And I learned something the other day. I didn't realize he has held the U.S. Championship.
Yeah, he actually beat Dolph Ziggler for that.
Hey, you always learn.
That's right.
Don't lie to you kids. You always learn. Even if it's a little useless wrestling facts, you learn something.
So New Day is scheduled to defend against the Vaudevillains, or as JBL calls them, the Vaudevillians. Dork. Defending the tag team titles against the Vaudevillains.
I don't see them losing it, but then again, when? If they don't lose it to the Vaudevillains, because you don't know when Enzo's going to be able to come back.
Right.
So obviously that would have been a great match.
Yeah, it really would have.
You push them up. You've turned the Dudley Boys into, they have no push right now. So
yeah, I still don't understand that, but I guess that's how it is.
To me, the Dudley Boys, if they were going to get the title, they would have given it to them when they came back and had all the pop.
Right.
But you could see the Vaudevillains doing something, because then New Day could just wreak havoc on the mental games for the Vaudevillains with the unicorn horns and the gyrating and the songs, the booty-o. Oh yeah, they had a big inflatable box of booty-o.
Yeah, botch of the night goes to the Booty-O's box. Couldn't even get it fully inflated. It was about maybe 3/4 of the way before they finally started the match and just gave up. But it still looked cool. Booty-O's.
But you got to give it to New Day to have that kind of thing on a house show. Nobody else had any pyro or anything.
That was cool. It's a unique twist for them. It's a good way of keeping the attention on them, and definitely keeps the crowd behind them. I don't see how the New Day could actually go back to ever being heel. The other thing, though, is in taking the titles off of them, how long after you take the titles off of them do they fade off into the sunset?
No, you don't. You take the titles off of them in a fluke or whatever, and then they come back and they can play the whole demolition game with the three of them.
Mm-hmm.
Your match was against New Day, and at any moment, any three members of New Day could be in that ring.
Right.
Wait a minute. Oh, Kofi's getting hurt. Let's pull him out. I'm gonna put Consequences Creed in there. Oh, sorry, wrong name. Jigger with
We called him Consequences Creed this evening.
Yeah, I didn't have the same pop that I did last time we saw him, but
yeah, maybe he saw us coming. Yeah, he was
look at them new crazy bastards again.
It was a little weird not waving at old Wade Barrett this time around.
But I think the WWE has a gold mine. They have a gold mine with New Day.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that when you see it, it didn't work in the first incarnation. Like the whole choir and
yeah, I agree.
Church preacher thing they were going for wasn't working. But what they've gone to works. The crowds like it. The kids like it. And it's easily transferable to, if they lose it, then they can just play those goofy mind games with whoever they're trying to beat.
Right.
And the Vaudevillains would be somebody fun to do. To where the Vaudevillains could lose it to a tag team.
Like Golden Truth?
Yeah. Like Golden Truth wins it on Raw.
After distraction from the New Day. That could work.
Come out, do the thing, Golden Truth ends up tag team champ.
That could actually work. That'd be cool. I think what we've learned from just the past few weeks is that WWE is definitely willing to learn on the fly. They're not necessarily afraid to take a chance, but they are a lot more intelligent about the risks they take. With seeing what they've done with Shane, as we've started to learn these past few weeks, the initial plan for Shane McMahon was to be a one-and-done kind of situation through WrestleMania, and that was it. But by popular demand, based off of fan reaction, they made the decision to have him stick around and see how that would unfold. Now, because of how well it's done, that's where they've now gotten Stephanie involved rather than having Stephanie and Triple H involved. So that is actually a positive for them. The ratings have increased. We've seen a decent increase of interest from a general fan base perspective. Matches on Raw are better. And what we're seeing now is the focus shift to the in-ring product, which is what we've been begging for all along.
It's just, I want to see more.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, granted, I'm like one of those fans. We wanted Shane to come in and do a change and do whatever, and then they do it. But then, of course, the typical fan is, we want more.
Right.
You know, like, to me, now what they're doing with it is pretty cool. How they have it where they'll change it up. You know, oh, wait a minute. Not only can you not go out, you can't go out tonight.
Yep.
You know?
By the way, Big E.
And WWE would be awesome. But, you know, I think a brand split would be great because then you would have more belts to put on more people. And then you have more reasons for fans to tune in. Oh, and not to mention, more merch you can sell.
Right.
Because, oh, yeah, they're not going to bring back the old belts. No, they're going to make new ones.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Even though the old ones are sitting in a vault at the WWE warehouse.
Oh, speaking of, 3 episodes ago, as far as Edge and Christian show, where they find all these titles in the vault, and they find Virgil with the $1 million belt. That's a pretty good episode. You get a chance, you should check that out.
I just want to get lost in the warehouse one day.
You probably could. It looks pretty monstrous.
I wonder, since we're on the corner-to-corner internet wrestling show, if they would let us, we would rate press clearance to get into the WWE.
You know, there are methods to contact them and get that done. I will have to research that.
My son asked me today, what would happen if the WWE wanted your show on their network? Would you do it?
Yeah.
We'd maybe not be able to talk about Vince as much, but
I have a feeling that they would be open to something like that. It just depends on what you have and the following you got.
Come on, people.
It's you guys that can make this happen. You can make our New Day rock. Just saying.
But it's been fun. It's been a fun trip.
Sure has been.
And Extreme Rules, my thing is, like, they haven't announced any, like, stipulations.
Right.
You know, you have a pay-per-view called Extreme Rules, but then you say all the matches are Extreme Rules. Well, what's that mean? Is it no holds barred? Is it anything goes? Is it in the cage? Is it over a pit of piranhas?
Whoa! A match of in the pit of piranhas match.
Dangling, you dangling a mirror in front of our Kardashian? Like, what are you doing?
Well, that's dangerous because if they get a hold of a mirror,
Kardashian's in a mirror match.
Yikes. Well, I mean, they've got the
be a manager for Tyler Breeze. And fun. Dong. The pretty people.
Ugh.
What's their tag match? What's their tag name going to be?
Gorgeous Dancers. Glitter Express.
Bad Gimmick 1, Bad Gimmick 2. Like Mr. Wrestling 1, Mr. Wrestling 2. Bad Gimmick 1, Bad Gimmick 2.
Well, I mean, at least WWE finally got Fandango's dancing over. Of course, it took the Lucha Dragons to it. Lucha. You ever notice that? Huh? Yeah.
Well, one thing you should have known is, like, Tyler Breeze should have known, wait a minute. Hold on. They teamed Fandango with Summer Rae. What happened to him? So then who they bring her in with?
Summer Rae. She's kind of a waste. I don't know. Every now and again, she'll get in the ring and have a matchup with somebody like Sasha Banks, and she does all right. You never really know what you're going to get out of Summer Rae.
My issue is when you film a show on the WWE Network about you driving along doing a thing, put your phone down, Summer Rae.
Yeah, that's just not safe.
You should not be texting while you're on TV.
Well, folks, we are coming up on the end of it. It's been an awesome week of wrestling excitement. Be happy to join you probably in a recorded capacity for Extreme Rules. We'll send updates out throughout the Twitter and, of course, the Facebook page. You can catch up to us on C2C Radio. C2C Radio Show. Or C2C Radio Show on Twitter.
That's his other show he's trying to make without us.
Corner to Corner Show on Facebook. CornerToCornerWrestling.com. CornerToCornerRadio@gmail.com if you want to send us fan mail. At STRCP21 for Brian on the Twitter. Rob Hefner on the Twitter, at Rob Hefner. At RDHUWP for Instagram.
Holla.
And Corner to Corner is on Instagram as well. And Stan from Krypton for myself on Twitter. Thanks again for listening.
Forget, Beyond Ringside.
That's right.
You can find our podcast or our radio show on Beyond Ringside and on the Beyond Ringside family